Alrighty, welcome back to Hollow Knight First Pass, where today we are doing the third Pantheon, Pantheon of the Sage. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So P3 starts with Hive Knight, and the best technique that I found for him, I'll talk about it in a second. There's some more lore in here. But the best technique that I found for Hive Knight, is to just jump over his attacks, dodge the little honey guys, but you can just jump over him and pogo off of him. Right here, when he starts dealing with the bees, that's when you want to dash through his attacks, so you don't have to worry about the bees. But as soon as they're gone, you just go right back to wailing on him. So just watch out for the bees. Take it nice and slow. We're not going for any world records here. And when you obviously don't want to be above him when he's spitting out the bees. And yep, those will still hit you after the fight. Then we have Elder Who, and Elder Who can be really annoying because sometimes he decides that he doesn't want to stay on the screen for that long. So that's kind of annoying when that happens. There are a couple opportunities to heal during this fight. I'm not supposed to be taking this much damage right now. So right here, you can line yourself up with the throne and then dash away. But I wasn't close enough to the middle of the screen to do that. So I'm going to heal right now afterwards and hope that this run doesn't die here. So after Elder Who, we have the Collector. And the strategy for the Collector is fairly similar to when we fought him in the Love Tower the first time. So you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on him typically. So 1, 2, 1 above, and then 1 when he lands behind. And then if you stagger him even better, you just want to watch out for when he tries to lunge at you and grab you, because that's where a lot of your damage can come from if you're not careful. So again, that was 3. I always like to be careful when you're dashing towards him, because he is moving towards you, and it can be a little bit difficult to try to judge where he's gonna land. So again, just a lot of the Pantheons are just really just taking your time if you're just trying to complete them casually. So there's 4 hits right there. And then if you can line up a Shade Soul to hit him and one of the spawnables, you should probably do that. And if you take him down with enemies on screen, then the other enemies will die. So after Collector, we have God Tamer. You want to wait and then dash over to here, and it's going to be the same strategy as Call 03. You're going to want to make sure that you're behind the rider as she's coming down, or double jump to avoid her attack. So right there. Whoops, did not mean to do that. But that's okay. So we're back on top here, so we can use well, I've never had him roll so many times in a row before. He just keeps rolling, but that's fine. So yep, be behind the rider so she doesn't hit you on her way down. And then you do want to watch out for when she comes down at the end. She can still hit you, similar to the honey bombs with Hive Knight. Then afterwards we have Grim. So you can Dream Nail him twice at the beginning of the fight if you so choose, and then we can roll into it. So one of the strategies that I like using is charging a dash slash, because you can't really hit him that many times anyways, so you want to maximize your damage when you do have a chance to hit him. So dash slash is on the bad attack, and you can typically land another one in. On his balloon phase, you want to wait for an opening, and you can fire 2 or 3 Shade Souls. I was a little bit high on that one. And then recharge this. On his corkscrew, you want to follow him. You want to follow the direction that he's going when he comes down. So let's try this balloon phase again here. So 2, just like that. I probably could have gone for 3 or 4 there. So this attack will also be a dash slash, and there's that little phase right there. That lunge attack is probably the hardest to land a nail art on, just because it happens so quick and you might not have your nail art charged. But see, it's not very difficult there. And feel free to use all of your soul for spells, because he is the 5th boss, which means that we get the hot spring room with the benches where we can heal up to full, and we can go into the next half. So with Galleon, if you don't move from where you spawn, the scythe can't hit you on the first go. And typically, I like to take this fight a little bit slower. You can get the first little scythe to spawn in before the big one stops spinning rather. And I don't like to dash a lot, because when you Abyss Shriek him when his big scythe starts spawning, you can typically get 2, but then you have to shadow dash to avoid his big one. So if you just take Galleon slow, shouldn't be bad. So now we have a very, very annoying boss in the form of GPZ, and it's gonna be the same thing, just as long as you take him slow. That flail attack can sometimes be annoying. Typically you want to dodge, you want to dash away from him before you jump, otherwise he can still hit you. And then when he spawns in his little Zote balloons, you can fire a Shade Soul and it will get rid of most of them. And it's not a good idea to be above him that often, because he jumps a lot and it's kind of unpredictable. So there we go, get rid of the Zote balloons there. Watch out for him. Still, like, try not to be above him that much. So, and he does spawn the Zotelings, but they're not too bothersome. You can typically heal once or twice when he's staggered, and so yeah. See, that attack is very annoying when you're not ready for it. I wasn't ready for it right there. Yeah. You definitely want to be behind him when he's doing that like charged attack. And you don't want to be right next to the balloons when you make them explode. That's for sure. That'll lead to you taking unnecessary damage. And one of the most important things in the Pantheons is just to stay calm. If you get into your own head, you start to make irrational decisions. So I was getting a little bit nervous there, but you just have to stay calm and play it a little bit safer. So for Umu, you want to get to this platform, and then you can Dream Nail Umu twice. And each time Umu screams, signals the spawning of these Uma here. So let's see if we can. Nope, it didn't. That didn't work. That's fine. We can do it from this side though. So you need to knock the Uma into Umu in order to drop the shield. So one of the best ways to do that is to Shade Soul the Umas into Umu, and then fire some more Shade Souls afterwards. After Umu, we have, is it Hornet II? It is Hornet II. So Hornet II is very, very similar to the original Hornet fight, except it's just a little bit faster. So you do have to take that into consideration. She has that new counter move similar to the Hollow Knight does. And because Hornet is the second to last boss, I'm going to play things just a little bit safer. Just because the last boss can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. So similar to Zote's balloons, you can fire its Shade Soul and it will get rid of those spikes. If I would have dashed and would have stood further away from that needle, then I would have been able to heal. But I'm just playing super passively just because I want to make sure that this run doesn't die to the last boss. Yep, I should have played it safe and healed. If she ever sets up a counter, you want to dash away so she doesn't hit you. So we're not in a very difficult position. We have full health and some soul. There's some more lore here from the Godseeker. And then afterwards we're gonna go and face the Grail Nail Sage, the Great Nail Sage Sly. And Sly has a couple of attack patterns. If he starts off with a lunge, it means that he's gonna do a little cyclone attack there. If he goes in the air, it means that he's going to slam and then hit on both sides of him. But that lunge means he's going to cyclone. If he jumps backwards, it means that he's going to do a dash slash. If he charges the nail art right next to you, it's going to be the great slash. And if he charges one in the air, it's the cyclone slash. So yep, you just gotta watch for the pattern. The starting move will let you know what he's going to do. So there's the spin, and typically you can heal once or twice when he's staggered. It just depends on how close he is to his nail. But one is typically the safe option, and you want to just play everything a little bit safe. Sly is definitely one of the bosses that if you get out of a pattern, it can be scary to deal with. But you wanna aim for 1 or 2 attacks per every one of his attacks. So just play it very safely. There's Great Slash. You don't want to get hit by the nail arts. They do 2 damage. So there we go. I'm gonna try to heal twice here. There we go. And that's the dash slash. Just 1 attack. There's a Great Slash. Yep, I should have dashed left through that, but that's okay. So we can heal twice in this window. So now this is the part where you just have to stay calm. So you're gonna want to walk one direction and then walk back shortly after he tries to attack you. If he comes from above, you're gonna have to shadow dash away, otherwise you are gonna get hit. And it's important that you don't rush walking back in, otherwise you're gonna get hit. And it's just a timing thing. You just gotta get a feel for it. So I'm gonna dash away because I got a little bit scared there. And just take it very slow, calm and collected, and you should do fine. It would suck to lose your run to the last boss. There we go. As you can see, we defeated him. Bow at the end of the fight because we're not barbarians. And that's P3 done. Let's see what our time was here. 13:53. That's alright. Just taking it slow, making sure we get through it. And the good thing is, it's that if you die to Sly, as long as you get to him and you unlock his battle at the end there, if you encounter him, then he'll be unlocked in the Hall of Gods. I know we haven't done the Hall of Gods yet, but as soon as you fight any of the bosses in the game, they're gonna unlock in the Hall of Gods, and you can go there to practice So if you do lose your run to Sly, then it's probably a good idea to go and practice. Galleon isn't a bad boss to practice either, um, just in terms of preserving your health and learning the patterns of how his big scythe moves, um, just so that you have enough health for GPZ, because GPZ is another boss that you can lose your run to. But with that being said, we are almost done with the Pantheons here, the mandatory Pantheons, and we're actually sitting at a completion of 111%. So we just have that one last percent, and that is from doing the Pantheon of the Night, which we're going to do next time. Again, here's my charms. I've been using the same charms for all 3 Pantheons. It's a pretty basic build, so don't be afraid to use it. If you want to go for a gimmick build, by all means, more power to you. But we want to. This is not a bad build to use, especially with Shaman Stone. It's a very good charm. So with that being said, we're going to do the Pantheon of the Night next time, and I will see you guys next time.